all summer we've been watching the young singletons on Love Island looking, not always successfully, for the one. But my next guest says you don't have to be in your 20s to need dating advice. And after finding herself single at 60, author Fiona Lambert is sharing what she has learnt in her survival guide to dating. And Fiona, so pleased you're here. This book it's just packed full of information, but it's also fun.
Oh, I wanted to make it fun.
Yes, very, very much so. And like we say, Fiona, you found yourself single at 60. You had been with your husband since you were 23. So suddenly you're in this new sort of dating world, and I'm guessing you felt the dating landscape had changed dramatically since you were that sort of 23-year-old. So it's not only confusing, but can be very challenging for people.
Definitely daunting, definitely daunting. Those days of sort of seeing somebody across a crowded bar and, you know, catching their eye and swapping numbers on a bit of paper, suddenly having to go back on dating apps was just such a change, and it's very hard to meet people organically now. So, yeah, I had to venture on the dating apps and realise what a huge minefield it was and learnt some lessons very quickly.
Exactly, which you have thankfully now put in this book, which will help all age groups. That's the point.
I hope
because
so.
You know, the dating apps, we talk about them all the time. But it's what was interesting in the book is about the terminology and how language has changed now in dating. Like we've heard of, I've heard of ghosting, didn't hear of the silver splitters.
Ah, it's all new, yeah.
Exactly.
That's a rise.
And then of course zombieing.
Yes, zombieing.
That's a new one completely.
Yeah, that's when they think they've stopped texting you, and then they suddenly rise from the dead and you get a new message.
Oh my gosh, you see, it's just another world, isn't it?
It is.
But the online dating, the first thing is obviously trying to create the profile and the stress that it is to pick the picture and what to write about yourself.
Yeah.
So you talk about the sort of picture that you should use and indeed not lying about your age. There's all little things that you feel will benefit you in those very, very early stages of online dating, isn't that right?
Well, it is a very visual thing. You know, somebody looks at a photo for a second. So that first photo and how you describe yourself is going to be really important. So everybody, you know, I did actually speak to guys about what they wanted to see, and they definitely wanted to see smiles. They didn't want to see groups of people. And I think it's really important you wear colour, because, you know, that's going to come across and catch somebody's eye. So, yeah, that first impression becomes so important. And the other big thing is actually people do judge you on your age, because that's up there first. So that was a big change as well.
But you shouldn't lie about your age.
Well, and I was talked into lying about my age on the very first time I did it, and I so wish I hadn't, because, you know, I don't think it's important you don't start on a lie. So I quickly changed that. And what's really interesting, I think, when you used to go out and meet people in real life, you don't have a big sign above your head saying your age.
Yeah.
Whereas on the dating apps you do. But I think, you know, people will look, and if you're sort of smiling, wearing a bright colour, you know, hopefully your personality is going to come across from that first photo.
And you've worked in fashion for like 37 years.
Yeah, that's my background.
So exactly.
Yeah.
So you know what you're talking about when it comes to sort of how you dress, certainly in terms of a date, and colour, like you say, is a good one. And blue's supposed to be quite calming, isn't that right?
So red gives you confidence. And it's a colour of passion. I mean, whether you want to give that over, but it's certainly, I think it's very empowering. Blue's very calming, so if you're nervous, I think wearing blue on a day is going to make you feel really relaxed.
And avoid black, possibly.
Yeah,
the safety of black is always quite a nice thing, but avoid it.
Black's seen as being very professional. I've been told when I've been asking questions about people, I'm interrogating them, so wearing black probably and looking like a businesswoman isn't what you want to do.
It's not what you want, exactly. It's an interesting concept, though. You think a video call for the first kind of initial meetings actually a really positive way to go?
Oh, 100%, because I think you can tweak your photos, or your profile can, you know, have things that you don't learn about people. The video call's one way of finding out if you can actually have a conversation. You can see if somebody looks like their photos. And I think that's the first date. That's the safest way to do it, really.
That's true, and you can get away quickly as well, obviously.
You
can't you? You can make a fast exit.
Yeah, blame the bad signal.
Yeah, that's
sorry,
true.
I was losing you there.
That's true. Explain your 3-question rule.
Oh, well, for me, communication was really important, and I like, you know, a good conversation and curiosity. So starting a chat on an app, I found I would, you know, ask a very personal question about the profile, so it was relevant. It wasn't just a general question. And if I got a one-word answer back, I'd try again, and then maybe if I didn't get another one-word answer, And at the third time round, if I didn't get a question back about myself that showed some sort of curiosity or a level of, interaction and conversation, I was thinking, you're not the person for me. So for me, that sort of 3-question rule quickly ruled out people who couldn't hold a conversation or weren't actually curious or interested.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, Fiona, like 25% of divorces happening in couples now are over 50. And 2/3 of these are initiated by women. So again, like we say, the landscape is changing dramatically. So many more couples now, 50 plus, are finding themselves in this situation.
Yeah.
Having said that, it's important to state there's no stigma in wanting to be single.
Oh, not at all. And actually, the first bit of the book is about finding yourself. And to be honest, I wish I'd read my book before I started dating, because I think I went into it too quickly and realised then I had a lot of work to do myself, because I'd had, over 30 years as half of a couple. And I think a lot of people will be in the same situation. That's what they're used to.
Yeah.
So the work on yourself and actually appreciating what your interests are as an independent person, feeling confident in yourself, taking time to get fit if that's what you want to do. So, feel really good about yourself. So the first bit of the book is all about, finding out about yourself and also what you want from your next relation, if that's what you want.
It's like you said, it's finding yourself after all the years,
really
as sort of being in a couple. It's a different chapter, isn't it, in life?
It is, isn't it?
It's so interesting, Fiona. Like we say, it will be a survival guide to dating for all age groups, I think.
What's interesting, men have been interested as well.
Of course.
I think there's a lot to learn.
Equally so, it's relevant to all of us. Fiona's book, SAS, 60 and Single, Your Survival Guide to Dating, is out now. Thanks so much, Fiona. Hi there. Thanks for watching our YouTube channel, where we upload new videos every single day. You can click here if you're interested in this video, or head to the homepage for some more amazing content.